Hello, hello, I'm back. Okay, so now we're gonna do the refried beans. And this is really simple. Okay, so for refried beans, usually I put my beans in a crock pot before I go to work, and then by the time I come home, like between 8 and 10 hours that I come home, then they're completely done. I also put salt in them. So, I'll take those beans and refry them. So I don't have any because this is just like last minute thing that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a video. So I don't have beans that I did from a crock pot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do them with canned beans. And you can do this with the black beans, or you can do this with pinto beans. Both ways, doesn't matter. Okay, so let me show you how to do this, okay? And you can either do them smushed, like in the pan smushed, or I can show you, or you can do it in the blender. So I'm gonna show you a can of each and show you how it's done, okay? So I'm going to first get my stuff ready. So I'm gonna chop up an onion because I like mine, my oil to be, I like to have flavor in my beans. And so I will take just a really small amount. So maybe like a quarter of an onion, and I will chop this up. Let's see, really, really tiny. Okay. And like little bitty squares. This is optional. You do not have to do this. I just like it. I like the flavor of it in there. You can add onion powder. You can add garlic powder into your beans. It's all, to your liking. Okay. I just always do this. This is how I was taught. Okay, so my onion is there. I'm gonna open up my cans. Okay. We are not going to strain these, okay? Not yet. Okay. So that's that. Number two, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my stove and get my pan hot. So I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna do a 6, okay? For oil, I'm not sure how much that is. Let me rinse out my other one, because the other one doesn't have. Okay, so we're gonna do, again, I've never measured, so I'm just gonna start out with 1, see how that looks. No, 2-ish. No, maybe, yeah, maybe 2-ish, and let's just do like another half. Just a little bit more. Okay, so that's that. That's gonna heat up. Right now my stove is at a 6. Please don't judge my pan, it's kind of old. Okay, so we're gonna let that heat up for a moment. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do the, how you can, a way to smush them is, instead of smushing them with your smasher, what I like to do sometimes is just put them in your blender, okay, with the juice and everything, okay? It should have pretty much enough liquid to blend. If it does not, you can always add a little bit more water, okay? Okay. Well, can't even open it now. Okay, and okay, so these are super, super, super liquidy, okay? And it's okay. Okay, so my pan is hot now, and so Again, same thing that I do with the rice or anything else, just test it out. I just put a little bit in there, and all those bubbles mean your oil is ready. I'm gonna turn it down to about a 4. Okay, and you're just gonna want to fry the onion in here. You wanna either get it translucent, or you can, you know, get it to a really pretty tan color. I like mine pretty tan. Tan always looks better. Okay, so we got these babies sitting here tanning out on the beach. So while they relax there, I don't know, should I do, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do yellow ones. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my beans into a different container so I can go ahead and blend my next can of beans. And again, you can put these in your frying pan once your onion is ready, just like that whole, and just smush them. I mean, no big deal. You know, if you want them a little bit thicker, that's fine. Or you just want like a better creamy consistency, you can always do this. Or, you know, put both of them in your blender, okay? Okay. So my beans are smashed, so I don't need this. My onion looks pretty and tan. All right, so now we're just gonna add our beans in here, okay? And we're gonna add both pans to this. Now, these beans do look a little bit lighter in color, and that is okay. The color does not mean that they're not going to taste good. It's okay. When I do them in the crock pot, they do look a little bit darker. I don't know why. I think the more water you add to them when you cook them, the lighter they are. The less water you cook them in with, the darker they are, I think, in my opinion. Okay, and so now we just stir. Okay, so this is how they look. The grease is coming out a little bit, but it's okay. Once it starts heating up, it'll all blend in together. Just keep my stove, I'm gonna turn it up again to like a 5, maybe a 6. Yeah, 6, okay. And beans, you kind of have to really kind of watch them out. If they're too dry, you don't want to just walk away because they will burn, and burnt beans are not good. Okay, so at this point, my beans are, you know, pretty soupy, right? If they're soupy like this, do not be worried. Do not be afraid. Embrace it, my friend. Okay? Because the longer they cook in here, the better, and they will dry out. Okay? So that is a-okay. Also, you might want to taste it. Pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add some garlic powder, which is where? Okay, I can't find it at the moment, but I guess they're going like that. Okay, so you just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Okay, so when are they going to be done? Okay, you see they're starting to boil. They're getting hot. They're getting comfy. They're mingling all together. Okay, your oil has now started to incorporate into your beans. You don't see it anymore. Yes, it's still kind of soupy. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring. Okay. And keep stirring because the bottom will stick, okay? If you want it soupy like this, maybe give it another 2 minutes. If you want it to dry out just a little bit more because it's too soupy and you don't want it, then just keep stirring. So when it starts popping like this, and you see how it's jumping now, you might want to turn it down now just a little bit. So I turned it down to between 4 or 5. Okay. Let it keep going there. Okay, and then now you can kind of start to see it's building some kind of like layer. I call it like, I'm not sure how you call it, but like a little layer of old skin. That's what you want, okay? That's when you know that your beans are like on point, okay? They're good. So if you want them soupy, now's the time to turn it off. Your beans are done, okay? This is more like you can eat these with chips or something. If you want it a little bit more dry, just keep going, girl. Just keep stirring, stir, stir, stir. Again, do not walk away because these will burn. But you see how the bottom is dry? Okay, that's what you want to do. It will dry out. Don't worry. Okay, and just keep stirring. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes since I've I just kept, you know, stirring my beans around. I did add a pinch of cumin, just a pinch of that. And then I couldn't find my garlic powder, but I did add maybe a little teaspoon of this garlic stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn mine off because this is the consistency that I like. You can see the little old skin, I call it. I don't know what the English word is for it, but like that top film layer on the top, that right there means that it's done, okay? That they're all completely cooked. In Spanish, it's called nata. So once this is at the consistency of your liking, and it has that little film on top, you're done. You can go ahead and turn it off. So mine started out super, super soupy. Now they've cooked down and now they're at a pretty good consistency. I feel like, and you know, my stove is off, but it takes a little bit for it to cool down. So from now to the time it completely cools down, my beans are gonna be pretty firm and pretty like a thicker consistency. And then once you put it in the fridge and then you take them back out, it'll be a little bit thicker. So in that case, you can refry them, you know, take them out of the fridge if they're too thick for you, and just add just a little bit more water. It's no problem. Just, you know, just put a tablespoon of oil, put your beans in there, and if they're too dry and thick, just add, you know, a couple tablespoons of water in it. There's no problem with that. They should still taste the same. You can microwave them afterwards. But yeah, so that is how you make refried beans. And you also can tell that it kind of changed the color of it. You know, the more you cook it, it does change the color of it, because we started out with some pretty white looking beans, but now they're really pretty. You know, it got that little color to it. Again, it just needs time. And the point for them to be on point.